I mean, to play devil's advocate, they will probably, I mean, like, you know, looking at it from their perspective, it's like, hey, they probably really wanted to believe that there is a talented young female Overwatch player out there, and, you know, she's not given the same opportunity. And let's face it, like, women on the internet are always questioned whether or not they are actually women, so they were like, you know, maybe cross their mind to be like, hey, let's not be one of those people to ask, are you really a girl? And, like, try and show support for her in their weird, messed up way. Like, I agree with you. Like, I think there should have been better investigation done before certain things were published. And I know that Richard covered that in his article. He said, you know, like, they reached out for comment and they never got a response, so they ran the story anyway without it. You know, stuff like that shouldn't really fly at publications, especially, like, publications that are supposed to be doing the bulk of the reporting in esports that we have now, right? So, but to play devil's advocate, there's also, like, you need to be sensitive about, like, how Ellie might have felt being questioned about, like, who she was. And, like, you know, you're talking to someone who was supposedly an underage, like, you know, a minor as well, so you have to tread carefully about that as well. So, I don't know, it's just, like, there's this whole thing, but overall, like, I do agree with you. It sucks that the discussion becomes more about, like, how the story was handled rather than, like, the issues themselves.
Well, maybe it was a good learning lesson for all of the journalists that did get fooled, you know, that maybe something like a Skype call, you know, like a simple conversation could have, you know, helped to, you know, eliminate some of the uncertainty. But, like,
I don't think so, Ryan, because none of them apologized. They all doubled down. None of them retracted their story. I've had DMs with several of those journalists. None of them felt like what they did was wrong. I told them they're all fucking idiots, and this is why I shit on them publicly all the time, because they can't admit that they fucked up. They can't admit that they fucked up. Like, they've been shown several times that they fucked up, and they can't just say, like, all right, we got it wrong. We shouldn't have printed this. They look. They really did Zorine's justification, and I'm not saying that it's a wrong justification. I really know that, like, one, you have to tread carefully here because she is an underage girl, and you don't want to always assume that it is not a woman on the other end. But it really feels more like people really wanted so badly for it to be true. They wanted the 17-year-old girl who is top 5 ranked on the ladder, who's come out of nowhere to be a fucking prodigy in the Overwatch community, to be true, to show that women can play at the highest level, and that there's another woman besides Gaguri out there, especially in North America, like the first really, really incredibly good North American women. Because there are some good North American female players, like Barcode isn't playing those who follow Overwatch for, like, the first season of the beta in Overwatch, and I've known her for, like, a real long time, and she's great. But people really wanted the story to be true, and then people wanting the story to be true took over their mind of, like, how they thought about the situation. And if you are a professional journalist and your job is to look at things and write about them and report on them objectively, you cannot let your personal feelings on how you want the world to be and how you want to progress the world and make things better interfere with what is actually happening in whatever you're covering. And I really think that is a major problem with certain journalists at these publications, especially with the way that they cover a lot of issues which have intertwined culture and race and gender and, you know, that those types of things.
I think the real tragedy is whenever there actually is a 17-year-old girl from North America that's actually really, 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 really strong, she's going to have a hell of a time proving that she's legit.
No, it really is. All this did was make it worse for, like, other women now. Now, whenever there really is a woman who's, like, grinding through the ladder, coming out of nowhere as a new player, it is going to be twice as hard, or 10 times as hard.